back, everyone. I have a couple announcements before I start into the main reason for this video. So, to start with, I said exit. To start with, I have a couple announcements. So, first of all, there has been 3 new mods added to, well, actually 2 added to my survival LP. One of them will not be any use because it is meant for adventure map making. So, first of all, recipe book. It's pretty straightforward. It's been added to my game because of all the mods I use. So as you can see, there's going to be quite a few items that require special recipes. So you right click, opens up this GUI, and you simply scroll down, or scroll up in this case, and you get all the different recipes. If you want a recipe for a specific item, you just scroll around till you find it. So say I want to know what else can be made with let's just pick a random one here. What else can be made with string? So you click on it, it goes up into this little corner here, and then you scroll around for all the recipes with string. So there's the lasso for simply horses, wool ball, wool, bow, fishing pole, etc. Spawn lasso, you unclick that box, and it goes back to the regular menu. So then you can scroll around some more. Bam, there's fire, unclick fire, sticks, etc., etc. So, I'll be using that. It's pretty handy. Not really sure what happened there. Okay, try again. So, with recipe book, that is pretty much how it works. So, it's going to be fairly handy. So, the actual recipe for the recipe book, if I can find it here, is an ink sac with a regular book, and that gives you the recipe book. So that's pretty simple. Another mod that's been added is the teleporter mod. Has been added to my survival LP along with recipe book. Both of those mods, well, the recipe book I just showed you, but teleporter mod has its own video which should have been uploaded a few days ago, providing I am on the schedule that I wrote for myself. And then thirdly, I have added extra biomes, which is where all these extra items come from. So we're actually going to make, we're going to have to expand my tree farm to include all these fancy new saplings. So, the main reason for this video, as the title suggests, Simply Horses has updated. So, you've all been patiently awaiting the update for Simply Horses 1.4.2, and today we have it. So, going to go in here, and there's our beautiful panda. There's our old college stallions. And so if I open up the menu here and I go to where the Simply Horses stuff is, you have your lassos, your bridles, your shoes, your sugar cubes, and your carts have been added again. So obviously that's good. So if you guys want to know how to use the carts, it's the same as before. So you can go see my other video that's titled Simply Horses something or other, and then it says carts in the title. And then pretty much everything for the horses is the same. So, some updates that hopefully have happened. And I'll just get, so now, and this has been changed for a while, and the textures are back to normal, so you can see in my hand is an actual lasso before it was a leather cap. So you right click on them, you get your fancy new string. So now there's actually a lasso that you can physically see, this line right here. You can tame them by feeding them cake. That's been new for a fairly while. There's been, supposedly, I've been told that there's a couple new colors, but I haven't seen any yet. So there's that. And I'm going to spawn another one here. Game no longer crashes if you tame them too quickly. That used to be a major problem. So, riding them is a little trickier now, but that's okay. So if you give the Clydesdales a saddle, as with 1.3.2, you get their fancy harness thing going on. And supposedly, this is still part 1, by the way, so she's going to be uploading a part B. So she's working on a couple things like dyeable tack, so instead of this default yellow halter, yellow saddle pad, or yellow halter, bridle, and the yellow pieces on the harness, they'll be dyeable, so you can make different colors. And also, there's something about the carts that have been, or she's working on changing. So in a few weeks, hopefully that'll be available. So there's the wait a sec. And why is it moving? It's very bizarre. They're all spawning Vardos, so that's a little odd. So apparently the carts are still a little buggy. That was supposed to spawn all 3 different kinds, and instead they're all Vardos, and they're moving for some reason, like they're alive. So that's a little bizarre, but hopefully that will be fixed as well. So I just want to let you guys know that. And that's pretty much all there is to the Simply Horses update. Oh, I'm forgetting one thing. Well, let's get rid of all this, but keep your lasso. And going to spawn some vanilla mobs here. Where's my cow? There we go. So, if I go over here and spawn some vanilla mobs, there's a cow, there's a pig, there's a chicken. You can lasso your vanilla mobs! I am so excited. This is like the easiest thing to do. This is way, way better than wheat. All my troubles that I had looking for sheep and other animals, and you can lasso several at a time, so look at that. I have all 3 of them. You can't use them on... Oh, I lassoed him to the block. That's pretty cool. Oops, that didn't work out very well. So I have these 2 lassoed together. And then let's say I want to lasso them. That caused a game crash. Alright. So then obviously, if I go over here with them, I can lasso them to the fence. Supposed to be able to lasso them to the fence. There. So now they're lassoed to the fence. And I can take the cow. And lasso him to my well. So as you can see, oh, don't fall in there. As you can see, this is going to be revolutionary in the world of Minecraft. And hopefully someday Notch will actually implement this into the game. You can have like a lasso for the animals, because that would just be sweet and very helpful. So, and I'm not sure if it works on hostile mobs. It may or may not just work on animals. So let's spawn a zombie. And sheep. And the wolf. Okay. So I have a few different types of mobs here we can experiment on. So here's a sheep. Oh, that's a dog. You can lasso the dogs now, so it's like a leash. Okay, there's the sheep. Lasso the sheep. You can lasso the sheep to the wolf. Bam, hopefully it doesn't eat her. There's Ocelot, if you can catch them. Now you can lasso them too. And then obviously I can take him. He's not cooperating. Woo! Lasso them too. And then finally we have the test of these guys. And you cannot lasso the... It's nighttime, you silly zombie. You cannot lasso the hostile mob, so it is only animals. Which means you can probably, if you wanted, lasso a squid. And I'm actually going to test that. There's a river around here, there we go. Let's spawn a squid. Oh, there's already some squids here. Nope, can't lasso a squid. That's okay. You can lasso all the other vanilla animals except the squid. So that is amazing. So that is the last bit of the Simply Horses update for 1.4.2 Part A. As soon as Part B becomes available, I will post the video of the updates. So, I will catch you guys.